Good morning everybody, it's August the 4th, Thursday to be exact. So this is the fourth day of the summer school. I think everybody's starting to feel a bit tired. Some tempers are fraying, if you know what I mean, because like the last couple of days people have been put in like small combo groups, and there's been like personality clashes and arguing over what the parts are and that kind of thing. So I'm just taking some time. I'm back in room B12 again, just taking time out. But I'll as the day progresses, I'll give you more information about what happens and stuff. Yeah, right. Yeah, Thursday. I did about an hour or so in room B12, which was becoming my home for a little while. But then, of course, because there's regular students at the Guildhall, I got kicked out because somebody else had got that room booked. So I ended up going up in one of the upstairs rooms. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet about the Guildhall, this is something that really helps, because you've got like master's students and undergraduate students there. There pretty much is somebody in a practice room, just going through their scales or through a difficult piece. And you can actually learn a lot from just studying what these master's level students are doing, because more often than not they'll take say like a piece of Debussy or whatever, like something say modernist, which is like a bit out there and a bit too advanced, or like some of these these keyboard parts. They can be really complicated, highly virtuosic. So they'll just take maybe 3 bars and just slow it down. Just slow it right down, and don't worry about speed, but just get it under the fingers until they've got it, one year when I went, there was an opera singer, I think it's a soprano, and she was just doing like warm-ups. And it was just really impressive. She just spend like a good 20 minutes just going through some arpeggios just to warm the voice up. Whereas guitarists don't seem to do that. They might just sort of blast through something, but not really actually think about the actual range of the notes. So one good thing you do get from the Guildhall is the atmosphere there, where you've got this overlap of like all different musicians. We're all musicians together. We're all performers together, and ultimately that's what it's about. In the next session, in the rock workshop, we were actually doing Good Times by Chic, and I actually really enjoyed this one. And again, we were doing like the alternates. There was the eight, but this time there was 8 guitarists. So I got paired up with Fergus, who I was telling you about, on Wednesday. And so that was a lot of fun. And one thing I actually learnt about that was as well, that if you're a rhythm guitarist, just because you see a me-shaped hole in the music doesn't mean you have to fill it up. It doesn't mean you've got to I've got to really cram in everything. I know, sometimes just scaling back on what you're playing, enough to support the other players. That can be enough. Okay, and then we had a break for lunch, and then in the afternoon the theory class was continuing. And I think I know what the problem is now, and actually Jason seemed to mention it himself, was that as we were doing these exercises, whether it was the arpeggio thing and then trying to solo on, you know, but keep to the guide tones of the third and the seventh, or whether we were just improvising on Scrapple from the Apple and keep trying to keep to the third and the seventh. It was in this sort of like machine gun style where sort of like, right, you, it's your turn. Oh, but solo now. Right, I've done my bit. Next one. Right. Ooh, I've got to do my bit. Right. Next one. Right. Ooh. And as it's coming round the room, you're gradually panicking because, like, I better come up with something. What am I going to do? So, you know, it's no surprise that everybody was tense and like, you know, panicking about, well, what am I going to do? Because there's all this pressure on. Oh, well, I better do something. Oh, and you know, why are you flapping like that? You're not actually thinking about the music. But then again, I mean, that's one thing I'm not that keen on, like the bebop style. You know, for that reason. Because if it is just sort of like, right, well, it's my turn to solo now. Right, oh, I better do something. Then everybody else just like calms down, and you might just get like the bass and the drums, and that's it. Whereas I actually prefer sort of more orchestral ideas where even though you got a solo, it's being supported by the rest of the group or the orchestra, which means that you can either improvise or have the part written down for you. And but then again, I mean, maybe that's just what the eye-opener was for that. So anyway, we had the class and we were going through these things, and then after a time I was just thinking, well, does it really matter? You know, thinking about, like, you know, what Abby was saying on the Wednesday, does it really matter that much? So anyway, I did my bit, and then John Tucson, he stops and he says, well, we're giving you these exercises, but if you can't be bothered to play them, then what's the point? What's the point of us giving them to you? So anyway, I just shirked that one off because I mean, I didn't actually say it at the time, but my answer is I'm not happy with that sort of machine gun style. Right, you play a solo. Right, it's your turn. You play. Right, you do. No. He played that, so you can't play that as well. No, you got to do your bit. Right. You know, it's just because I'm not happy with that way of playing. So then we had a break. We had a break. And then it was the afternoon rock workshop, and of course I'd left that group because I didn't want to do that Kings of Leon song. So anyway, I met up with Oscar. You know, I was telling you he was that drummer, and he really fancied jamming with me. So we got together, and then we found a bass player called Mel, and she wasn't really doing very much. So anyway, it took us about 20 minutes to find a room, and then of course we needed a room with a drum kit, and we needed a room with like a couple of amps in for the guitars. So we went down there, and then we just had a bit of a jam on a few things actually. We did was it 21st Century by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I actually really enjoyed doing that. I'd never really seen much in the John Frusciante style before, but now I actually get it. You know, that like your role as a rhythm guitarist is just to actually hold things together. You know, and just keep it simple. And then we did some Black Sabbath. So we did Paranoid, which is a lot of fun. We actually had a go at Black Sabbath. You know, the so we actually got that, but then and that was going really well. But then we sort of realised that this is going in the final night concert, and we're sort of like mums, dads and grandmas and aunties in the audience, and we're doing all this, what is this that stands before me, you know, that it's probably not going to go down too well. And then we had a brief tryout on War Pigs as well, and Oscar he's such a good drummer that he actually nailed all that 6/8 introduction, but the hardest part was where the guitar comes in, the guitar and the bass, because it's all in the hi-hat. You're counting in, and it goes like that, and you have to sync that really, really tightly, otherwise it's a mess. So so then we actually, you know, after that, you know, like Jeff, who was like the drum tutor, he came in and he says, well, if it's up to you. You don't have to do anything in the class if you don't want, because you're playing in the workshops tomorrow. So you know, it's up to you. You can put it in if you want. So we actually decided, yeah, probably best not to. So we just left it. So then we had we broke for dinner again, and then it was the tutors concert. One of the jazz groups, you know, the vocalist, that, you know, Scott Stroman, he's like the overall course leader. And on the piano, that's Jason Rebello. You actually see what some of the fuss is all about, you know, that you can actually play, you know. But then again, I mean, like, you know, getting back to that harmony class, which is kind of I've been actually going on about that for most of this series, haven't I? I've got to try and, you know, see it from his perspective, you know, that like here he is, you know, like he set himself up to be like, you know, like a sort of world-class musician, and then he comes, you know, like does some teaching on this summer school, and then he's faced with this sort of bunch of amateur jazzers. Some of them never played jazz in their life, you know, or if they have, not very well. I mean, how is he going to react, you know? So you can kind of see it from his perspective, you know, that like if he's got sort of quite high standards, you know, and then he's faced with this sort of amateur night performance, you know, then you can kind of see where he's coming from. Anyway, so then we had the like the club, and I was sort of, through Abby, I was making friends with this lad called Rob, and he did you know, a song of his, and that went down really well actually. And then I managed to do a piece. They actually set up 2 rooms, and I was in the second room, and I've got a brief clip of that. But to be honest, I was quite tired. You know, that the week was starting to catch up on me, and I was very dehydrated. That's one thing to think about as well, is that you know, to watch your fluids. You know, like to keep the fluids up, especially when it's warm. You know, like it was. So I mean, it probably could have been better. But we had a great time, and then afterwards we went to the pub. We went to the Jug and Hare. Oh, sorry, not the Jugged Hare. That's what it's called. Yeah, which is just it's just over the road from Sundale Court.
This is Abby. And this is Rob.
Hey.
Hi. Okay. Yeah, this is me. Okay. All right.
Just got a brief clip of that. And I'll leave you till tomorrow. So yeah, all right. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.